Well, if your ride's broke down and looking sad, got a clunker car that's just plain bad, don't you fret, don't you worry, don't you sass. Just bring it on down to Chad's Whiskey Gas. He's Chad, he's wild, he's got the speed, fixing up rust buckets, planting a new seed. In the Whiskey Gas garage, you know it's true. He'll get that old forgotten clunker feeling brand new.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Gas Garage. I'm Chad Scott, I'm your host, and we are back on the When a Man Loves a Yugo. So, to recap, for those of you maybe joining us a little late, we bought a Yugo, Finland, Minnesota, drove up there, got it, brought it back. It was locked up. We got it unlocked, actually running, got the wheels to turn, though we didn't get it driving per se. And then the timing belt broke and it's an interference motor, and I should have checked it. My fault. I own it. It's dead. But in the meantime, we bought this old Triumph TR7 with a body that's just god awful. Tons of whiskey dents and a lot of bent undercarriage and some rust, and somebody finger painted it gold with a bunch of drunk 6-year-olds. It was rough, but we did get it running and driving. In fact, we drove it, 15 or 20 miles at 70 miles an hour, and it did phenomenal. 2-liter motor, good little Triumph motor. Other than all the Lucas in it, it's okay. So we got running, driving TR7, and we got not running, not driving Yugo with a great body and great interior. This car actually has no interior, just 2 seats. So with all of that being said, we put it out to you guys. What do you want to see us do with this? And the overwhelming majority of you said, get a 1.5, get something else, drop it into the Yugo, leave it alone. So, of course, we're going to not do that at all. And I'll tell you, the roughest ones on that opinion, those purists, those Yugo purists are like, no, don't you dare cut that Yugo up and graft it onto the body. You'll have air conditioning, rear-wheel drive, a 2-liter motor, and it'll be an automatic. Why would you even want a Yugo like that? Well, that's exactly the Yugo we're going to build. So we have to strip this body down completely. And have I ever stripped the body off a car? Yeah, actually I have. I built an ice cream truck out of a 4-wheel drive one time, and it turned out fantastic. The Monster Ice Cream Truck on Facebook. Still out there, sold it years ago in North Carolina, and she's running it every day. So I've done this before. I think we'll be able to pull it off. And if not, we'll just have kind of like this big mess of stuff and lots of parts laying around and lots of trips to the scrapper with all this metal. So we'll just kind of see what happens. So today we're gonna work a little bit on this, start stripping it down, start getting some of these body panels off of it. The best way I know to do that, Sawzall, works great. Grinder, works great. Cut off wheel, wheel of death. We're going to do all of that and try to get as many body panels off of this thing as we can, so we can just do the best we can. Went down to the old Hobo Freight and bought a new grinder from Hercules, and bought the extended warranty because I'm going to blow this thing up at least 5 times. I'm going to get 5 new grinders out of this one Hobo Freight angle grinder here, and we're going to cut this thing up. We're going to get it all into pieces, and then so eventually we can figure out how to graft the Yugo body onto this frame and chassis, and go from there. So y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. Here we go. So as you can see, the goal here is really quite simple. Using the most precise tools and techniques In this case, we used a Hercules grinder from Hobo Freight and a sledgehammer. And using those precision tools, precision instruments to do the least amount of damage possible. Okay, so why are we taking a break? Chad, we love your time lapses. They're so lapsy in time. It's because that Hercules thing right there has got to be 125 degrees. So let's see here. Let's check it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to check it. So here's our laser dot. Ambient temperature, 81.6 in the British Racing Green Triumph. 146 degrees. That's in the engine part. Made it very difficult to hold on to. So ambient temperature? No. Oh, good. 82. Temperature of, oh yeah, 146. So yeah, we're going to let that cool down while we go warm up our part 2, which is going to be, of course, a Sawzall with a blade that cuts through everything. And then we're going to have to get some of this apart. We're going to take out that spare tire compartment. And then got to get over here. Got to be a little more careful over here. Right there where that black thing is, that's actually where your fuel pump is. And then behind this panel here, the rear trunk panel, is where the gas tank is. We got to be careful around that, you know, because we don't want to blow things up, especially us. But yeah, so, you know, again, using only the most delicate tools, we've done that. And we found a Goodwill gift card. And I don't know if you go to Goodwill, but I do. And I'm taking it next time to see if there's any money on it. So y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. We'll be right back. Well, the question was always, would she lose, I don't know, 500 pounds and still start? And the answer is, it started on the first turn of the key. So we've ripped the rear quarters out and the trunk out. And let's just face it, Triumph had a real opportunity here. I think they missed. They could have built a little tiny car. It was already a 2-seater. Didn't need a trunk. Trunks are for rich people. They could have made, just stopped it right back there behind the back seats, and that would have been the whole car. It would have been a lot lighter and a lot faster. But listen, we haven't started it up in a couple weeks. Of course, admittedly, I have the air filter out of it. Listen at it. Purring like a little kitten. Like a little kitten, a cat and a half. And great chasuble. In Spanish, he's el gato with a sombrero. Hey, I'm happy with what's going on here. So, both doors, as you can see, we didn't need them. Doors are overrated. Listen, before you Triumph guys start yelling at me, there was nothing here. The dash is all gone out of it. Electronics were kind of gone. It does have the automatic, which I'm going to like in this Yugo. And other than that, it was just bad. So, again, quarters gone, back gone. We're going to continue chopping. Here's where we have to start being careful because of the fuel tank's right behind that panel right there, and we don't want to risk, you know, cutting into the fuel tank and things going boom. You'll have to excuse the condition of the Whiskey Gas garage. We've got to get it cleaned up, and then I think we'll chop the top off. I think that top is just it's got to go. It was never meant to be there in the first place. Sure, let's go with that. So we're going to keep at it. You all hang in, hang out, and hang on. It's different. In the words of Kevin and Angus at Junkyard Digs, it's different. So quarters gone, half the top. So it was already had that, you know, that big meshy sunroof leaky thingy. which really didn't leak. It wasn't bad at all, but of course it wasn't going to be there. But, so yeah, it's different. Definitely different. Wonder if it'll start now. That would be a great question to answer, right? Slap a battery back in it just to see what happens. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So we've got most of the rear quarter out of it now. Between those shock towers there, so between here and the other side is where the gas tank is, right there against that back panel. And we're really going to have to focus on where that's going to go as it relates to here. Now, I think it'll actually set up in the back shocks of this will line up reasonably close. There's a lot of thinking to do. In fact, I'm not going to think that far ahead because that's not what we do here at Whiskey Gas Garage. We just cut them up and see what happens next. So, you know, we're onto the frame down here. That frame only goes part of the way up. Before I cut out all these side panels, I will get up there and probably weld a couple of pieces of steel from the front frame to the rear frame where it's kind of a unibody. The body kind of holds it together. We'll lap this fender off and then just start kind of working our way forward. We can't take the floors out, obviously. We got to leave all that in, but we can take those fenders off there. Of course, we can chop that off. I've managed so far not to break a single piece of glass. It's because I want to give these doors to some Triumph guy who needs, you know, doors or door panels or, you know, glass is probably pretty easy to get for these still. Then we got to get up here and chop all this out. And most of that's empty. There is the condenser for the AC is under there. The automatic transmission cooler's under there. But we can make all that. Make all this go away somehow, at least the outer skin of it. And these shock towers here on both sides are eerily similar to the shock towers here on both sides. So we're going to hope that those shocks maneuver a little bit and move, and we can line those body up with it. It's not going to be a perfect fit, don't get me wrong, because, you know, we got firewall issues. We got a lot that has to come out of this. We're going to keep the brake booster. It's a big job, you know, and I don't recommend anybody do this. Not that I don't think I can, or I don't think you can, but, you know, everybody, well, a lot of people put these 1.5s, even 1.8s in a Yugo, and they run great, and all the purists are like, that's what you need to do. And I'm like, yeah, but you've done that. You know, one guy sent me a long video of his driving, and it was fast, and it was cool, and it was loud. And but everybody's done that. I've never heard of one rear-wheel drive Yugo ever. So, you know, we're going to have a rear-wheel drive Yugo. It's going to be automatic. It's going to have air conditioning and a big 2-liter motor. Yeah, it's going to be different. So, you know, let's give us time. We're still working on it. You know, if you're ever going to see a rainbow, you have to stand a little rain. And believe me, at the old Whiskey Gas Garage today, it is pouring rain because this is not what it looked like, you know, earlier this afternoon. So y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. We'll be back at it in a little while. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome back. I want to give you a quick update on where we are with the Triumph TR7. We are taking the oomph, the UMPH, the oomph, out of Triumph by just cutting the dog snot right out of it. So far we've used not very many tools. So Sawzall, yes. Grinder, oh yeah. Yeah, we burned up two Harbor Freight grinders already. Very exciting, but we bought the extended warranty, so we just keep getting them new. It's like new, free grinders until we get this thing cut apart. And then sledgehammers, big ones, little ones, a couple of medium-sized wire cutters. We've done some wire cutting. Very exciting stuff. But the TR7 is getting torn down, so let's take a more concise look at what we're talking about here. Hold on, we'll be right back. So here's the back of what used to be the Triumph TR7. They were entirely too long to start with. The fuel tank's back there. We'll get it taken off as we continue to work on it. Of course, there's half a top. still on it. We're working on it. So the front clip is completely gone. The front clip here. Now the motor, we've already started it back up, still runs. Everything's still working great. We got to go ahead and get the rest of that nose clip cut off. And then I just haven't cut that down yet because I'm really waiting to measure exactly how long that unibody is going to be once we cut that away from the chassis that it's on. So we're just taking the body off of the Yugo. We're going to transplant it over here where we know it fits. Now the condenser and all of that was bad in here for the AC, but we did go ahead and take it all off. And again, the front clip is there. So you remember, it looked like this. And then it looked like this. And now it looks like this. A big pile of parts leaning against the back fence of my house, which my wife loves when I stack old car parts. So any of you Triumph guys out there need a TR7 hood, need a TR7 trunk, whatever, you're willing to pay the shipping, or you can come to Northern Colorado and pick it up. I got parts. I got pieces and parts. So, chassis good, brakes are good, everything's good on this TR7, except of course the inside, but we're going to worry about all that when we set the body on it. We're going to come in, cut out all this dash. We're going to try to use the entire dash, not necessarily the firewall, but at least all of the dash of the Yugo. Again, we're taking all this off, and we're going to just set the Yugo body right down on this chassis. And our goal is to build a Yugo that we could run not only the Poverty Tour next year in June, but also in at least 3 or 4 events for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So as we run 24 Hours of Lemons, we want to make sure that we've got a good solid chassis to work off of here with the TR7. And it really is, I think. It's only got 65,000 miles. We're going to get everything we need out of this chassis. It's not going to be a problem. It's just marrying the two bodies together and getting it all running back the way we want it. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Apologize for being late this week, getting an episode out. Had my 35th reunion of my Coast Guard Academy graduating class down in Branson. And to be very honest, just now sobered up. Took a while. It was quite the time that we had down there in Branson, Missouri. So we'll be back with you guys next week. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. We'll see you in just a little while.
Well, if your ride's broke down and looking sad, got a clunker car, it's just plain bad. Don't you fret, don't you worry, don't you sass.